Hello, all. Welcome to I Write Out Loud. I am Dana Dubois. I will be your host for the next hour, and we are going to be talking about fathers and Father's Day and what it's like to have its complicated relationship with our fathers on Father's Day. Um, I first would like to check and make sure that this is all streaming everywhere it should be. So allow me first to head on over to Substack and YouTube and Facebook, and let's see if everything is connected because I am still new to StreamYard and I want to make sure we've got everything going on here. So, um, clicking weirdly. Oh, it says I am live on Facebook first, which is funny because nobody ever joins there. Like it's just I'm only doing it because it's very easy. Um, so let me go to my YouTube page. I'm doing this in order of importance, of course, because I think most of you will be here on Substack. Kira Hush and live. It says we're live and one person is here. I don't know who that is. It's Thomas. Hello. I'll say hi over there and then let me hit refresh on Substack again because Substack is always a little slow. Now it says that I am live and I see all of you. Hello. Hello. Okay. I'm glad that everything is connected and working. And now, did I mention that Substack just launched sponsorships where you're able to sign up for them? Let's give this a try. Nature Naws is my dog Kira's favorite treat. It keeps her quiet and compliant while I'm podcasting. I mean, mostly quiet and compliant because she loves these nutritious, delicious sticks. So Nature Naws parent company, naturenaws.com, a division of Resolution Pet Brands. I think you should have I Write Out Loud sponsor your product. I think that they do it like this, like the makeup people, they put their hand behind it, but my hand is too small relative to the package. And my little dog here, forgive the mess behind me, she is just wagging her tail and is like, please let me have a stick. Okay, so oh, and look, do you see what I see right there, you guys? Do you see that? What is that? I just took the plastic off. It's still kind of wrinkly. My skin is a little wrinkly, but do you see that? Not temporary. That's a real tattoo right there. Yeah. Isn't it cute? I'm kind of obsessed. Karen, it did not even hurt that much. The woman who did it had such a gentle touch. Can you see how it's kind of like delicate and feathery? It did not hurt all that much. It was so weird. Maybe because the last tattoo I got was 25 years ago almost, and so the technology has maybe changed. But it took a couple hours, and no numbing cream. It was like I could feel it, but it when we sat down, my daughter and I got them the same session, matching ones. It's her graduation present, and that was her request. And they said, you've had period cramps that hurt worse. And I have to say, I think that was true. Certainly had labor pains that were way worse. This was not that bad, but I'm going to be writing an essay on this at some point. But that's my little hummingbird. She looks like she needs a little lotion. My skin is a little weird underneath the bandage I just took off. But let's see. It's Wednesday evening. It's beautiful here in Seattle. You can probably see all the natural light coming in on me. And we are here today to talk about fathers and Father's Day. And thank you for saying my hair looks amazing, Karen. I put a little hot brush on it before I ran over here. And it has fresh color in it, and that always makes me happy. But yes, Father's Day is this Sunday, and so my I Write Out Loud essay this week is about my dad. Those of you who read my work regularly know that I have a complicated relationship with him, and you also know that he is in the throes of dementia and has been for a number of years. He lives in memory care now, and our relationship is all the better for it. And that is a strange thing. And that is what we're going to be diving into today. I'm going to want to hear your stories. I'm going to want to share my stories. Karen, thank you so much for posting the link. That makes everything easier for me. I appreciate you so much. Karen Marie Shelton, if you all aren't subscribed to her, please go subscribe to Karen. Her work is wonderful and she is a lovely human to know. So, so grateful for your support here and for your friendship always, Karen. Let's see, before we jump in, small things of the day for me. First is today was the final last day of school for my oldest child. She is graduating tomorrow from high school, and I dropped her off for the last time today. I posted a little note about it, and I mean, I put a heart over her faces, so you can't see her face just for anonymity. But the first day of kindergarten, the last day of high school photo, and talked about how rarely we know about our last milestones. We parents, especially, we track all the firsts and we note them. But so often I have not known when it's the final time I'm doing something. Like if you ask me when I changed my last diaper, I have no idea. When did they sleep in my bed for the last time? Don't know. When did I pick my daughter up and then set her down and never not realize I would never pick her up again? No idea. And thank goodness, because I think, well, the diapers I might not have cried, but the other ones I might have super cried. Today, I'm very well aware that a very big era is ending. And tomorrow I will be at her graduation. And I didn't cry today, but I am certain I will cry buckets tomorrow. And I'm so proud of her. So I do want to acknowledge that it's a special day. And I don't know if others of you here in the chat are hitting milestones like around graduating, whether it's preschool, elementary school, middle school, high school, college, but it's June. So a lot of those milestones are happening now. And if you are, congratulations. And also, my heart is with you because it's a joy and a heartbreak at the same time. Karen, thank you for saying to hit the hearts. I would really appreciate if you guys would click the hearts. That signals to Substack that this is a live worth attending, and it generally tends to boost the number of people who find it. So I would welcome all of your hearts. In fact, while thank you for saying congratulations, I am going to copy this link and I'm going to come and open another Substack window and just say we're live. Um, we're live. Please come join the conversation. It's open to all. Maybe I'll say the pre-Father's Day conversation. It's open to all. Okay. I feel like that will help to post it on my as a note. So let's do a little tracking. You know, I'm always interested in data. So okay, well, we'll see. We'll see if that makes a difference. Hi, Norma from Michigan. Nice to see you. And I'm laughing because my phone, which is my camera, is like right in the way of blocking where the texts are when they're low. Your daughter just graduated from Harvard grad school, Thread Designs. Well, that's a big deal. Congratulations. You must be so proud. So yeah, that's my kind of top of mind story today. My second of mind story today is I'm a little frustrated with Substack as per usual. This time it's around that made a very spontaneous live earlier. Several of you were there, and thank you for showing up for that. But the numbers aren't numbering. I think you all know that I am in the final days of my pledge drive around introductory funding. So there are 4 more days to get introductory lifetime annual subscriptions to I Write Out Loud. So I'm going to say that first. The $40 annual is a lifetime subscription, which means you will have no jump scares next year at renewal time. It will remain $40 a year for the life of the subscription. That is half the price of the kind of average Substack annual subscription. And I set it up intentionally at a low price point when I launched I Write Out Loud in February, because I was like, let's see how this does. Let's see if it sticks. And I wanted to reward the folks who came in early. I'm realizing that it's stuck. I'm here. I'm doing this work. I'm no longer in an introductory period, but I do want to make sure that those of you who've been here supporting me in these early days can benefit from this price. If becoming a paid subscriber is of interest for you, I will be launching additional paid subscriber benefits in the coming days and weeks. I will also be paywalling some of my essays, just to give a heads up. And I'm going to be offering some trainings because I get a lot of questions around writing, growing on Substack, launching a podcast. And after all this time of doing it, I do feel like I have some knowledge to share. And I will be doing that with my paid subscribers. I would love to have you on board for all of this. So if you are able, and if this makes sense to you, now is the time to come on board as a paid subscriber. $40 annual for the life of the subscription, and it runs through Sunday only, and then the price will go up, it will double, and I don't want you to miss this chance. So all of that said, I'd be so grateful for your support if you are able to come on as a paid subscriber. I I offered earlier this week that I was like, when the Daily Whatever Show did our pledge drive last summer, at every decile, every time we added 10 new paid subscribers, Lawrence and I did like a dare. We did something fun. And I think I'm going to do that, is what I decided. So I was hoping by today to have hit that mark. And I would have, except I keep losing paid subscribers today. I've gained 4, but I have lost 3. And I only have an explanation for one of them. I have dug into Stripe. I have dug into Substack. I've looked through my email. I have one person who I can see their credit card payment failed, and that is okay. And I reached out to them just to check in and let them know that they are, because they're a very active member of the community. So I wanted to let them know. The others are unexplained. And I'm like, Substack, what is happening? The other weird thing is that the Daily Whatever Show yesterday got a almost $100 spike in revenue for like our annual revenue, but no new paid subscribers, no upgrade. And I looked in Stripe and there is no record of that money coming in. And I'm like, Substack, what are you doing? Like, they have to keep up so that we can keep track. It's vital for all of us creators to be able to see when things are coming and going and try to figure out the why. But when it's erratic like this, it's so frustrating. Like, it's like losing and gaining subscribers. That's pretty normal. People come and go, and the economy is really tough right now. I get all of that. But to lose them and not get an email that says like you had an unsubscribe because of X, or just not even to get an email that says you have an unsubscribe, is like very, very frustrating. It's been hours and it's already down in my count on my dashboard. So I feel like Substack, keep up. Sure, everyone at Substack right now is scrambling. Can you hear the panic at the leadership level where they're like, oh my God, Dana Dubois is upset. We better get on this right away. They take me very seriously. I do not. I'm teasing. I don't think I've pissed anybody off, Krill Taz. I don't know though. Maybe I did, and they've left me feedback, and Substack has not sent me any messaging about it. The one that I can see, it's a credit card failure problem. So at any rate, I just had to do my little rant and be like, Substack, why? Why are you doing this? And also to give my pitch of like, I would appreciate if now, I would very much appreciate if you are able to come on as a paid subscriber. And when I hit my next milestone, which will if I hadn't lost those 3, I would have hit it. It's 210, which is astonishing to me still. I'm now at 207, which is 1 less than when I woke up this morning. So it's very frustrating. But the minute I hit 210, I'm going to schedule a red flag roundup. That's going to be my celebration at this decile. I don't know if you've all been online when I've done a red flag roundup before. They are very fun, and I'd like to think very informative. I share messages from the depths of my online dating profile adventures and what men are writing, what suitors are writing. And I do a bit of discourse analysis of like how not to act on the apps. And for women, what to take seriously. I don't put things out there that are just egregious because they're really easy to see. Like, yeah, that's not great. Don't do that. If guys come in and, are like, you're hot as fuck. Like the first guy who wrote me when I turned the app back on. Like, clearly, I'm not going to write back to that. That's just, I'm not going to. That's not what I'm here for. But there are others where I've been pretty shocked that when I've shown friends, they've been like, oh, so you're going to write to that guy? And I'm like, no, this is awful. Of course, I'm not going to write back to him. I am a hardcore fan of the burnt haystack dating method. And so I have learned a ton from Jenny Young and her rhetorical patterns to avoid in dating. So I'm going to share that knowledge with all of you once I hit 210. I've got so many examples. Cannot wait to share them. So I will schedule it as soon as I hit that milestone. So if you know anyone who likes, feminist midlife storytelling and screeds, send them my way. And with all of that, oh, Jason, you have a 5:30 a.m. Newfoundland time, 1 a.m. Pacific time alarm. You have my permission to go to bed if that's what you're asking for. Your photo, if you guys aren't following Jason O'Dell, amazing photographer in Newfoundland right now, I'm so jealous. Please go to Prince Edward Island and tell Gilbert Blythe that everyone in my home says hello. We're all very big Anne with an E and Anne of Green Gables fans. But your photos have been beautiful. So do go follow Jason and keep up with what he's doing there because it's amazing. He is a great photographer, Chris. You are correct. Okay, all that said, let's talk about my story and all of your stories. Father's Day is this Sunday, right? Let's get a hands up in the chat, first of all. And I know I can't see your literal hands. So hold on, I have to pause. Angel says Substack isn't a dating app. Could have fooled me. Angel, I get a few like dudes in my DMs just being like, hi. But I have not, for the most part, had the experience of having people treating Substack like a dating app. I might not be hot enough, but there ain't any 50 something single dudes out there who want to come shoot their shot. Now's a good time. Go for it. I promise I won't make you a red flag roundup. I mean, unless you deserve it, unless you're egregious. Don't say anything egregious and I won't do it. Okay. Now that I've gotten my I should make it. I actually have one of my like 187, I think, drafts of stories that I've started and have not written yet is about a date me doc, which is what like Gen Zers are doing. They're avoiding the dating apps and they simply make a date me doc, like a Google Doc that's public that sits out there, and then they link it from their social profiles. And I was like, I might want to try that. That seems like a really good idea because maybe look at it more as like a press release than as a like going on dating apps. Gen Xer tries a date me doc and sees how it goes. I think that would be a fun story to write. Oh, and I'm glad you love the word egregious. It's one of my favorite words. I feel like I say it every day because so much is so egregious in the world right now. But okay, we're going to come back around and talk here about my dad. So let me find this link. I'm laughing because I've got one person, Thomas, who's on both, I think, YouTube and Substack. So hi, Thomas. I just wrote hi to him again because that was a fun time to do that. Let me grab my essay, Karen. I know you have it as well. That's weird. I thought I had it pulled up, but I think I inadvertently navigated it away from it while I was searching for all of the live streams. So this essay is called The Father I Got versus the Father Dementia Gave Me. And here I'll put it in the YouTube chat, and I'm going to put it in the Facebook chat, even though nobody is there. And lastly, I will put it here in the Substack chat. So, like most of the stories about my dad, this one is a bit melancholic, a bit, I think, sweet, a little bit salty. But mostly, I'm finding that when I look back on the essays that I've written about my dad, and there are many, I write about him with a lot of care because, gosh, this month he will be in or no, next month. His wife died at the end of June, and I flew home and had to get him in a memory care like ASAP. Also, he had COVID. It was an insane time, but there was no way he could be home alone. He was not competent, and he has of course declined a lot in the last 4 years living in a memory care, and just it's the nature of the disease. I have immense empathy for him because dementia is a beast. And also, I like him so much better now that he has dementia. And that's a really weird thing to say. And so I'm noticing that with this essay and with others that I have written about him, that I write with what I would call sort of a slightly aloof affection. And I don't lie. I've told some stories about what he was like when I was younger, and I contrast him with that a lot. He was very type A, aggressive, yelling, hard to be around, a lot of misogyny, xenophobia, racism mixed in there too, very Trumpy and very Republican his whole life, but also very Trumpy. Um, and I say all of those things, but I say it with a lot of kindness. And there have been a couple of essays that I've been like challenged a bit, especially on Medium, weirdly. The essay I wrote a couple months ago, right after I went home to Florida it's weird, I still say home. When I went back to Florida to visit him with my kids, and I made my daughters go visit him at the nursing home with me, even though my eldest didn't want to. And he proceeded to tell her how she looked like a model and she was so pretty over and over. And I had several people on Medium call me out and say, like, this was child abuse that you made her stay with him, and you don't even know that you're letting him abuse you and you don't even know it. And didn't love those comments. I'm not abusing my kids. I don't think it's a mark of abuse to have them visit for an hour a year with their grandfather. Um, and I certainly wouldn't have them do it if I thought they were unsafe. But that said, as I have looked back into the ways that he was when I was younger, things that I have forgiven him for as I have seen him in dementia, and I've seen how the angry persona has mostly come off and the scared little boy is left underneath. I feel like I have this understanding of the bully he became, and how that bully was protecting that little boy. I lead with a lot more empathy, but the way I respond to him and sort of my, this is going to sound awful, but my kind of indifference to him is still very much in response to who he always was in my life and what it means to not have had the father that I wanted to have and still want to have. Um, I wanted to have the father who I would have wanted to care for in these later years, even though I don't think I could handle him in my home. Certainly, he's 350 pounds probably and completely dependent for all activities of daily living. Like, there's no way. But for a hot second, when we knew we had to place him in memory care 4 years ago, I was like, do we fly him? Do we hire an aide to help fly him to Seattle so that I can put him in care out here? And I was like, there's no fucking way. It was an immediate hard no. And it's because he's always been such a yelling, angry person. We weren't sure if that he might fail, that we might get a phone call that was like, you need to come get him. He can't live here because he's so agitated all the time. Psych meds are an amazing thing, you guys. He probably should have been on them his whole life. He certainly should have been in therapy his whole adult life. But men didn't do that back then, right? He was born in 1944. Men of that era, like that just pre-boomer era, like they're no, 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 no. And so he's never dealt with his own shit. He never sorted it out. And the result is the dad I had my whole life, who was angry and verbally abusive. And now what I see is this like sweet, scared old man who's also this little boy, right? So I feel like this essay, even before I'm getting in the essay, this isn't what I was planning to talk about. I was planning to jump right in the essay, but sometimes when I'm on a live, these things come forward, and it's just, I feel like I write about him with very little anger. And if I actually sit and examine, I probably am, there's an anger in there too of like, why why didn't you take care of yourself so that you could have been a good better father to me and to my brother? um because I'm at a stage of life now where I see a lot of stories about people who are losing their parents here on Substack and on other, in real life and in social media and all the things. Do you like that Substack came before real life? Because it's where I'm reading and hearing most of my stories. But there's so much grief and just this honest, like he was the best person, or she, but we're talking about dads now, so we'll say he. Um, and I loved him so much, and he, all of these things that I'm like, I simply don't feel that way about him. And it makes me feel really cold to think about losing him, and just very like, okay. And one day when I get that phone call, maybe there will be this flood of sadness, but I don't know that there will be, because my capacity to feel for him is pretty blunted. And I don't know if anyone else feels that way. I'm going to go back and read the comments now, because this is like heady, big topic. Hold on, I'm going to scoot you over, guys, over a little bit. You'll get less of a view of my messy shoe rack when I do that. So I have a feeling there's been a lot of responses coming in here. And okay, let me see. This was beautiful, Dana, and reminded me so much of my own experience. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Um, oh, I have early onset Alzheimer's. To me, it's not bad. My wife disagrees. Oh, I'm sorry to read that, Kriltaz. I am glad it is not too bad for you. And I hope that it stabilizes for you, for your sake and your wife's sake. Andy Kim talks about his dad. Love him. His dad has Alzheimer's. I'm not familiar with Andy Kim. I've got to go dig and find that. Let me see here. I lost my dad a long time ago, heart and diabetes complications. I loved him, but he didn't think women should be anything but teachers or nurses. Even after I was published and recognized in my male dominated field, he still felt I should have been a teacher. I'm sorry, Cynthia. Um, my friend Susan and I used to play this game. She had a complicated relationship with her mom, who later in her life really came around quite a bit, which was heartening to see. But for many years, she was not a great mom to my friend as an adult. And so we would be the voice the other one wanted to hear, where I would just be like, Susan, I'm so proud of the way you insert the thing that her mother would not say. So I will say, Cynthia, I'm really proud that you were published and recognized, especially in a predominantly male field. What a remarkable accomplishment. If you choose to teach about it, I'm sure you'd be great at that too. But I've always known teaching was never, you were never going to be limited because of your gender. There. Just pretend. Maybe I should say it in a deeper voice so I sound more like your dad. Um, Sometimes we have to have people say to us what we wanted to hear from our parents or other people. I can be that voice. If anyone else needs a parent voice, I will be that voice for you. Isn't that amazing? The facade of anger. Truly, it has been amazing. So instead of this essay, I nearly wrote an essay, and I will probably write it one day, called like Dementia Cured My Dad of Racism. And I've never read about this. There's probably peer reviewed studies about this or people who have anecdotally written about it. But my dad was a racist asshole for most of his life. I remember him coming, he's from South Florida, and he worked in like food service. He ran his own company supplying restaurants in Miami, you guys, okay? Miami, Dade County, like, I don't know, 65% Hispanic, I think. And I remember him coming to visit me in Seattle, and we were in some restaurant or other, and he was like, it's much better here. None of this Spanish. And he meant the people, not the language. And I was like, Dad, shut up. Like he would just, and this is something I've heard a lot. Like my family is Jewish, so 2 generations ago, their parents only spoke Yiddish. Then my grandparents were bilingual, could speak Yiddish. My mom and dad's generation can understand it, a lot of it, but they never learned to speak it. And I only know like swear words. That seems to be how Yiddish has died. But Yiddish and German are very similar because Yiddish is like Hebrew and German mixed together. And everything in Yiddish sounds like an insult, but the word for black is schwarz. I think that's just black in German, but when pronounced in Yiddish, it's a derogatory term. Like it always sounded derogatory to me. I assume it was supposed to be, and so my dad would yell about. I don't want to use it in a derogatory way. I was only using it in the German language way, but he's very racist and xenophobic. You know, he was a Trump supporter, and now his primary caregivers and honestly, his surrogate family are a husband and wife team, and they are immigrants and they are Black. And all of his carers at his memory care are the same. I'm not sure where, I think they're from all different countries, but they are all mostly Black or Hispanic. And I believe they are all immigrants. I've never asked, but they all have accents from all over. They are lovely people. And my dad worships them. He loves them. When I go to visit, he cannot wait to introduce me to all of them, and he tells them he loves them. And I look and I'm like, it's wonderful, and also like it's so weird. It's like he forgot, and he got so absorbed in where he lives and his day-to-day people that that's his normal now. It's all I can figure, but like his brain is rewired. Like um I mean, I remember walking in and like sort of looking around and being like, oh God, he's going to be a problem. He's going to start yelling and he's going to insult people. And I'm like, oh my God, he loves them. So again, I'm going to say psych meds are a beautiful thing. He should have been on them his whole life. I don't even know what dose he's on these days, but I would imagine it's a hefty one that keeps him tranquil, but he's so much more peaceful. Okay, let me come back to the comments here. And my Karen says my mother was exactly like your father, except worse. And then she developed horrific dementia. And I went through a lot of the same things you are going through with your dad. I'm so sorry, Karen. It's rough, isn't it? And it's sort of beautiful to see, like, um, to understand him more. A lot of the essays I've written about my dad are just about this emerging understanding, and there have been a lot of nuances to it, but the end sort of high level statements are like, at some level, he knows he didn't live the life he wanted to live, or that he didn't live a heroic life that aligns with his values, because he mostly is pretty oriented to time and place ish. And what he talks about is based in reality. But lately, and I have an essay about this, he'll talk about his time in serving in the war. And it's just like, oh, you're not a war hero, but he and his wife being, very rah rah patriotic Republicans, of course, they have a lot of admiration for people who are in the military. And so my theory is that like he's just taken that on. He'll tell you about his time in World War II flying over blah blah blah. And I'm like, Dad, you were born in 1944 and you never served in the military. He evaded Vietnam, thankfully, because otherwise I would not exist. But yeah, it's it's a very straight. So I think he recognizes at some core level that he wasn't who he would have liked to have been, and he wants me to see and remember him a certain way as one of the only people who, is one of his only two kids who will remember him and live on. And it's also just so abundantly clear that like abuse is generational. He was almost certainly verbally at least abused by his mother, according to his nurse practitioner who's been with him for a number of years. She was just like, oh yeah, it's really clear to me. She has a psych specialization, and she's like, absolutely, that's what you're seeing. So it makes me sad to know that it's generational trauma. It makes me happy and a little bit proud that I'd like to think I'm breaking that cycle, but it also means it's hard to pick out a Father's Day card. Am I right about that? Phew. Um, Trish says, I think we have to remain aloof to a degree because we need to protect ourselves emotionally. Yeah. And it's also like there are just limits to how much I can really feel for someone who I had this very hard and blunted relationship with. If you would like to share your stories in the chat, please feel free to share them. If you don't want me to say your name on the recording and you just want me to read your words, let me know. Like, please don't say my name, and I won't, because I will repost this recording, and I don't want to like divulge anything that you want to have stay in the chat, since Substack doesn't capture the chats. Another thing, hint, hint, Substack, that I would really like if you could fix. But for now, we do not get the chats. I am going to come back over here and read some more. My mom made up for my dad's shortcomings, although in the end, she chose my brothers and their families over her single daughter. I guess that's the reason I traveled for business for so many years. I had no anchor. Cynthia, I'm sorry. I was just having a conversation with Lawrence about this. He's having some tumultuous times with his family, and the idea of like, I don't feel like I was raised with there being a favorite child. I mean, my dad for sure preferred my brother simply because he was the boy. I didn't feel that way growing up, but I do feel it now as an adult. And it is a strange feeling. But a topic for another day perhaps, but I get that. Let me see here. I'm willing to be adoptive dad for folks to just DM me. I'm proud of all of you. If you want to DM Chris Resists, there you go. He will be your adopted dad. Um, Jason says Mary Trump said similar about her grandfather. I am not surprised at all. I have said so many times that Trump looks like my dad and my dad looks like Trump. Like the way they're built, they're both from New York. The comb over, the yelling, and as Trump is failing, like my dad's has bruises sometimes, I think, on his hands and arms. Like they look so much alike. It's a little eerie to me. I mean, my dad's not orange. But here, I'm in StreamYard. Let me try something. We're gonna do a little real-time experimentation. I don't think did I put a second photo in this story? Oh, I did, but he doesn't look very Trumpy in that picture. Let me find carry on, discuss amongst yourselves. I'm going to try finding this recent story. Here it is. I made my daughter. This is actually the story I was referencing earlier, so I'm going to put it in the chat. It's called, hang on, too many chats open. Okay. It's called I Made My Daughter Visit Her Misogynistic Grandfather. And hold on, don't I have a photo in here? I don't. Wrong story. Okay, that's still a good story, but I don't have a photo. I have photos from that visit, but they are not in the article. Let me try this one. Weird. I really thought I had more photos of him in these stories. Give me one more minute and then I'll just give up if I haven't found it. Okay. There's a picture of him from when he was young. No, I don't really see one. My apologies, but there is a resemblance. Maybe in the next article or in the recap of this, I will share a photo so that you can see. Let me come back to the comments here. And if you have questions for me, please feel free to put those in as well, or just thoughts about the essay or thoughts from your life. I'm happy to share all of it. Um, Let me see here. I get it totally. My mom passed from Alzheimer's and she was a malignant narcissist throughout all my life. It didn't really change a lot up until the last 4 weeks. It got maybe 25% better. I wish I could have cured my mother. I'm sorry too. It is a weird blessing. I'm not a religious person, so I don't use that word very often, but I think it's apt here. I have heard many times that playing music they loved is a wonderful way for stimulating memory. Probably, yeah. It's me being me. This is a strange thing to say, but I don't really come from a musical family. I'm not even sure what I would play for my dad. That would be like the music he loved. They're just not super musical people. Oh, I do have this very funny memory of him that when I said music, it always pops into my head. I'm in school because it's like the house I grew up in. And I just have this memory of him listening to Earth, Wind, and Fire and like tapping along and singing the falsetto parts. I think it might have been in After the Love Is Gone. Do you guys know that song? After the love is gone, what used to be right is wrong. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. I can't even sing as high as they do. I mean, but yeah, I just have this memory of him singing along with Earth, Wind, and Fire, but I don't think he was like a super big fan. I think they were just popular. I mean, this is when I was like a little kid. Let me see here. My best friend's mother started flashing her Bonnies at traffic passing by when we took her out to coffee. She didn't remember her own children, but remembered me just fine. It was strange. Well, you made a big impression on her, Jason. Um, let's see. Uh, This reminds me of my father. I never knew him, grew up without him since the age of 2. One Father's Day, I thought to try to connect with him on Facebook. I connected briefly, but he is a total MAGA ass, so I recut him off. Oh, I'm sorry, Chris, and I don't blame you at all. Um, oh, my dad spoke Pennsylvania Dutch and my mom spoke Italian. Unfortunately, they never taught me either language, just a few words in each. Yeah, that was like a thing, assimilating when you got to the US and the native tongues died, and it is a shame because when you learn when you're young, it's really nice, and you just have it. Thank goodness for our immigrant caregivers. No kidding. Oh my gosh, the people who take care of my dad are saints. They're just saints. Oh wow. My father just passed in November, but we had a complicated relationship. I'm glad I had the 104 days between my mom's passing to get to know him better. Wow. That's so fast, Julie. My gosh. I'm sorry. You must be holding a lot of grief. So I'm sorry for both of your losses. That's a lot. Am I his POA and HCP? Neither. My brother's the power of attorney. Uh, Because of course he is. He's the boy. For both parents. It's not me. um, that's fine. I don't want it, so it's fine. But it does make me laugh. Or I'm like, this is part of the favorite child thing. My brother is like very wildly successful at work and stuff. And therefore, I think I'm seen as this like person where I'm like, I'm doing pretty okay, you guys. But whatever. I am not power of attorney and I am not sad about it. So I figured the flashing your Bonnies probably meant boobies. Thank you for correcting me, Jason. But I thought flashing my Bonnies was nice. Do I think hate causes dementia? No, but that's a fascinating theory, and that's just a hunch. I used to work as a speech pathologist. That's my first career. I worked with a lot of elderly patients after strokes, and I ended up working with a lot of people with dementia because, of course, there's a lot of comorbidity there. And some of the kindest, loveliest people I knew were completely cognitively warped. So, no, I don't think that hatred causes dementia. Unfortunately, there are a lot of very kind and loving people with little to no hate in their hearts who have dementia. Um, His mind is young and not tainted by the world's negativity. I have a whole new relationship with an entirely new, vulnerable young part. Well, that's an interesting way to look at it. Um, Julie says, yes, 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 for music. I teach music and we do performances for memory care all the time. Many patients don't know who they are, but can sing every word of an old song. Yes, I can plus one that from the work I did with stroke patients as a speech therapist. Sometimes they'd have strokes and they couldn't talk. They had aphasia and they couldn't talk at all, but they could sing different parts of the brain. Wild. So if I ever have a stroke or dementia, please come in and start playing the magnetic fields. Do not come in and start playing the Red Hot Chili Peppers, because even though I'll know all the words, I'll be very angry that I'm being forced to listen to the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Oh, but do come in and play music for me, because that would make me very happy. My friend's mother was the sweetest soul. Oh, that's very nice. It's like getting two fathers, and your gorgeous, empathetic heart can hold him. Thank you. That is very sweet. Sorry, but Substack live chat is ass. No arguments from me, Cynthia. It certainly it leaves some to be desired. Yeah, the picking out of cards, because I can't buy a card that says something that's bullshit. Yeah, it is hard to. I am not sending. I did not send my dad a card this year. I'll call him on Father's Day or something. But yeah, it's hard to pick out a card. That's for sure. Um, Angel says, I love your recent essay about your dad. Honest and soul wrenching. You are growing as a person, understanding the dynamics. Yes, thank you, Angel. I am glad you enjoyed the essay, and I agree. It is all learning, isn't it? I mean, it's kind of why I write. Some of it's because I have a realization and want to write about it. And other time it's the process of writing about it that helps me figure it out, which always amazes me. That's the only way I can like untangle my thoughts about things sometimes. I'm going to put the link in here again because some more folks have joined. This is the story that we're talking about, and I'm reading comments right now. I doubt Trump will last the year. Cynthia, no comment. Other than that, yes, they are Mother's Day and Father's Day are fabricated holidays. I know, but still, they affect us. Bernadette says, "Oh wait, no, anonymous." Okay, so I'm gonna come back to that in a bit. Let's see here. Do I have siblings that experience the same relationship as you with your father? I do have a sibling. I have a brother, as I mentioned, and a lot of the same. It's a comfort to be able to talk to him. It was different because we're different people, different memories, different. He's a boy. He's a boy. I was a girl eldest, he's the youngest, but we have a lot in common about this, and we certainly call and commiserate and help one another out, which is really, really nice. Let's see, next comment. Verbally and emotionally abusive mother now has Alzheimer's. I'm so sorry. I'm responsible for all her medical and financial. I moved her closer to me in assisted living. 2 of the 3 siblings have died. Remaining sibling does nothing to help, nor do any other relatives. Fortunately, my husband is very helpful. Unfortunately, she's pleasant now. All like her and she likes them. Many caregivers are Black immigrants. Yep, I think that's true in most parts of the country now. I'm sorry that you are dealing with all of that, and I'm not going to say your name since you said not to. And let me see here. Hi, Ayana. All kinds of fun folks joining. Let's see here. Even radio music. Yeah, my dad definitely remembers music. There's often music playing in the memory care when we're there, and we'll sing along, and he'll know the words. And of course, it's older music because it's memory care. My dad passed away in December. I'm sorry. He had dementia that got gradually worse to the point he didn't even recognize my mom. He was a quiet man for the most part with a loud voice. He worked so much that he missed many of the moments in my life. I never felt angry about that, but was grateful for what he did do. He was a good provider, and growing up, that was enough. Good. I'm glad that you're at peace with it, Mike, and I'm sorry for your loss. I imagine this is a hard Father's Day with your first one without your dad. Um, Let me see here. And before death with dementia, my mom just said she didn't remember to everything. She was a liar and I didn't take notes, but she remembered she lied. Oh, that's interesting. So you think it was a tactic? That is very interesting. Um, the thing I'm dreading the most about this weekend is all the driving. I work nights and on the weekends I'm completely zapped. You mean driving to go see family or traffic on the road? Either way, I'm with you. Luckily, my kid's father, my ex, and I live very close, and we asked what he wanted to do for Father's Day, and there's this Mexican restaurant he loves. I have not been yet, and I've been wanting to try it, and he wants to go there, and I'm like, done and done. That's easy. He's very no fuss. So he I'll have my kids draw him cards. Probably I'll remind them to make cards, and they're very good artists, so they will be handmade cards, and we've got college to pay for. So I don't know that there'll be any gifts beyond dinner, but that's okay. It's I I have always intentionally dated men who are very different from my father, and so my kids have a wonderful dad, and I feel very lucky for it. And I just don't like. I don't even think they can hardly relate to my dad, and that's why it's like when we went to visit, my eldest didn't want to go see him. I'm like, girl, you've had 18 years with a wonderful dad. You can sit with mine for an hour with me. It'd be fine. And maybe I'm being too blasé about it, but um, I think it was okay. I think maybe I'll save some of those deeper questions for the Sunday Salon, which is the paid subscriber gathering every Sunday, where I tend to click in a level deeper and I say things that maybe I wouldn't say on a public live, and give a little bit more behind the scenes context and tea. And I have some more about that visit, some of the backstory about my dad that and things he has said to my daughters that I'll probably talk about there. So that's really what I'm going around about of like, it would have been pretty easy at some point in life to be like, we're done. I don't want to talk to you anymore. And I didn't do that, not for him, but for me. And I still feel like it was the right choice. But some of the comments I've gotten have made me question it a little. So we'll come back around to that on Sunday. Small pitch. That is for my paid subscribers. For 4 more days, it's only $40 annually to get an annual well, I already said annual. 4 more days, $40 annual lifetime subscription to I Write Out Loud. If you're feeling it, click that little button and hit subscribe. Uh, my name, if you click my name, it'll just go through to my subscription, and the $40 annual is up there, but only through Sunday, and then it's going to go up. So would love to have you on board. Would love to have you join for Sunday Salon. It's going to be a good one. Let me see here. And okay, I think I'm down to the bottom of the comments. Phew. Oh, and we're at the top of the hour. So I suppose I will finish this off by saying to all the dads out there, I hope you have a wonderful Father's Day on Sunday. I will be in touch before then, but the world needs more good dads. And as me and as the mother of daughters, I will say daughters especially need good dads. I have this running thing I say to women online who are talking about their hard experiences growing up with their dads, that I say some of the most amazing women I know were raised by the world's shittiest fathers. And I think that's true. And I don't know if that's cause and effect, but I know I would like fewer girls to grow up with shitty fathers and more to grow up with wonderful fathers. And also, the boys need really strong, amazing role models. And so do the non binary kids. Well, all the kids need good dads. All the adults need to have ongoing good relationships with their parents. So thank you for being a good dad, for showing up and being here, and happy Father's Day to all of you out there who are wrestling with hard or mixed emotions about your dads, whether they are living or not. I see you. I'm holding you here. It'll be okay. However you choose to spend Father's Day, it will be okay. I have a second Father's Day themed essay coming out tomorrow. It's going to come out on Open Secrets, which is a literary magazine on Substack. I'm really excited that they're publishing my story. It's about my stepdad. And if you think my relationship with my father is a complicated one, wait till you read this story. I'm going to talk about that one more on Sunday because that one includes actual jail time. It's a hard story to tell. So I'm very glad it's been picked up by such a thoughtful publication. I will restack it, not restack it. Well, I will restack it, but I will also cross post it. So if you are subscribed to me, which I believe you all are since you're here, you will see it hit your inboxes tomorrow. And I will talk about it more in the Sunday Salon because that's a big one. Yeah. It's fully in that like, wow, we all really do contain multitudes. And someone can be very wonderful to you and also not so wonderful to other people in the world. That's my ex stepdad. So that story will be coming. I will put in my pitch one final time, 4 more days, $40 annual lifetime subscriptions to I Write Out Loud. When I hit the next decile, which as of the start of this video was 3 more paid subscribers, I will host another Red Flag Roundup, my online dating takedowns. They are very fun and I think very informative, and I cannot wait to do one. Um, I am I am off work tomorrow because it is my daughter's graduation in the afternoon and then celebration in the evening. I would love to host it tomorrow morning because I'm not working. So I need 3 more paid subscribers to get there. Nudge your friends, be like, she's worth it, I swear. I'm being a little tongue in cheek. Jason Gale, also check your inbox. I sent you a message right before this. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but I'll just nudge that in there. The Red Flag Roundup is really crazy. Chris, it's so much crazier this week. I have so many good ones. It will be very hard to pick just one, but or 2 or 3 to feature, but there will be a lot. And I'm hopeful I'm going to get to do that. I'm hopeful I'm going to get to do it at least twice, that maybe I'll hit 210 and then 220 if I can be really aspirational. I feel like I've got 4 more days and then this very discounted rate goes away forever. And I really mean that. I think that I will run promotions every now and then, but the $40 for life rate, I don't know that I will ever run that again. So if you've been thinking about becoming a paid subscriber, now is the time. And that's all I wrote, I think, for today. We're gonna close it out on time. And I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. I'm holding you all in my hearts this Father's Day and always. And I'm sure you will see me popping in for lives and in notes. So I guess I'll say I will see you on Substack and I will see you live like this Friday morning on the Daily Whatever Shows Effed Up Friday, which is our only day of the week during our summer vacation. So I miss Lawrence so much. I barely talked to him. So we're gonna have a whole lot to talk about on Friday. Hope to see you there at 10 a.m. Love you all, mean it. Bye.